Hey, badass queens. Hello there. Welcome to the Unapologetically Badass podcast. Super excited. Hi, Sierra.
Hi, Renee.
I'm super excited to have Stina Leigh here. Stina is going to talk about self-love, soul expansion, and bold moves. Wait till you freaking hear her story, her journey. Stina and I met in person, was it 2 years ago? Maybe a year and a half ago?
I think it was just over a year ago.
Just over a year ago. And it was like an instant
It was
love. Like it was like, oh my God, this is my people. Like, you know, when you're like, I feel like sometimes I'm an alien. And then you go like, oh, when you find your people, you're like, oh, she's my people. Oh my God.
I felt that way with you, Stina, when we met online. I have a lot of online friends. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like I can't get out in the world. But as soon as we met online in that little thing, I was like, she was awesome. I immediately went and followed you.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, Sierra, you and I are online friends. We're still like stranger danger. You know, we still haven't met, but we love each other.
We give hugs every day.
Every day.
Oh, I love that.
So Stina, let's start from the beginning. Let everyone know like who you are, a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into all the goodness.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Stina. I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, still in the area. I own 3 businesses: Stina Leigh Promotions, which is a staffing agency; Stina Leigh Productions, which is a business development firm; and Stina Leigh Practice, which is an international retreat and yoga and wellness company. They're not even like, they're just a year old 5 days ago. My first client was ESPN.
Congratulations.
I know, isn't that so exciting? Yes. I was like, I gotta pay that LLC fee. What are you doing going on a podcast? You still have fees to pay.
Oh, that's amazing.
But aside from that, I'm really just here to get my story out there and then help others who either struggle with self-love, don't know what it is, or maybe they really excel in it and it's a really good partnership for what I have to offer. So that's me in a quick bucket of a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. So why don't you tell them, you had a corporate career.
I did.
And also, like, you're in the pageant world. Like, I have to throw that out there because that's where we're like, oh my God, like, we know
pageant. I feel so left out. I was not in the pageant world. So
that's okay. That's okay. You are a queen, so it's all good. We're all on the same boat.
Yeah, we're all badass bitches. So.
That's right, woman.
Whatever.
Absolutely. Like, whatever we are, we're badass something.
Yeah.
Yes. See, that's why Renee and I hit it off, because she said something about a sparkle queen, and I was like,
yeah,
the fuck out. What did you just say?
Yeah.
And that's when we began.
Did she get you, Stina? Like, really get you with the fuck it fund? Because that like spoke to my heart.
Yes, I know. Every time she says it, I'm like, Renee, this is moving stuff. The way you just pull it out is amazing. I love it. Anyway, getting sidetracked, but yes, I did. I worked for corporate. So I was an independent contractor for a really long time. Wanted to settle down, get a tad more serious, and obviously COVID happened, and there were no alternatives. My previous work had been in event management, and that obviously was at a standstill. So I took a job at home here in Warwick and worked myself up the ladder really, really quickly. In under 3 years, I went from being just like a tiny person on the ground, I guess, to completely transforming the entire company. Tried to get on the board, basically was told, stop trying. You're never going to fit on the board. You just don't have the qualifications. Meanwhile, I was teaching them how to run a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just snowballed into an extreme shit show. And I had to file some harassment charges. And once I started filing the harassment charges, it was like they would do anything to get me out the door because they saw me as a threat. And I was like, I got a lawyer involved, and I was like, dude, I can't even stick it out. It doesn't make sense for what my heart and how I am as a human being. I shouldn't have to sit here for another 6 months just to get money. Like, I'm out. I'm done. So I quit. I was also taking care of my mom at the same time. I was a full-time caretaker. And then I had a relationship that was really shady. That would I was on the cusp of like, okay, are you leaving? Are you staying? Like, what's going on? And I
Those
just
are tough.
decided, I waved the white flag. I said, that's it. I put my 2 weeks in. I flew to Costa Rica, turned my entire life around, and it's not been the same ever since. So I know pageants I've done, right? So what I signed up for a beauty pageant when I was in Costa Rica. I forgot that I did that. So then I come home and I'm like, oh shit, I have a pageant in like 3 days. Like, why did you do that? And I'm like, whatever, like we'll just see if I can slip into my old dress that is always so tight. Like I have to dislocate a rib just to get into it. It's
Oh
Giovanni, it's
no.
beautiful. And I was like, okay, well, if we fit into it, we'll go compete. We'll just go have fun. It'll be a blast. I slipped it on. It was loose. It was the most beautiful fitting it had ever been. Now I was platinum blonde with this turquoise bedazzled dress. I look like Elsa. I had just come home from 4 months in Costa Rica. So I go to Miss Northeast, like floating on cloud nine. And we had to went on the stage on the interview. I was like, oh my God, I just came home from Costa Rica. I quit my corporate job. I am living the dream. The whole room stood up and was just like, yes, yes. Obviously won that pageant.
Oh
So
my God.
Go
so
girl.
it wasn't Miss America. It wasn't Miss USA. I did compete in that when I was younger. I did really well. I took some time off and yeah, for whatever reason, I just signed myself up, did really well. And now I don't need to compete. I did another show since then, and I judged it, and it was really nice. And I
Yeah.
love the vibe. I love the glitz. I love the glamour.
Yeah.
But I needed it for self validation, and I don't need that anymore.
Oh.
So
Right.
I love
Oh,
to help others be there. I love to be a
yeah.
judge and inspire a really good way to grow community and grow who you are as a human being as a young girl.
Yeah.
I think it's a really nice outlet for that. But for me personally, at 42, like I don't need that shit.
You know, you just said something that really just spoke to me because you and I, when we met and we talked about Sparkle Queen and the whole pageant background, and I had competed when I was a older teenager, and I got into it by a friend. And at that point, I didn't have that self-confidence and self-love. So I competed because I felt less than. And
Mhm.
then as I grew older, I still love the pageant world, but I identified very quickly that I I'm not a competitor within that arena. I don't need that, like you said. I love
Mhm.
the industry. I love the pageant world to support women building their self-confidence. And that's why I became a sponsor of Miss America and did all of the pageant stuff kind of
Totally.
as a sponsor and a supporter. But that really stuck with me, stood out to me because that was something that I needed in my life at that time.
Mhm.
And then once I was like, no, I am who I am, and that I am not the quiet, sweet, I'm the bold, fuck this bullshit,
Yeah, I know, I know.
and
Same.
that's not exactly like the pageant world. They're very like this, and I'm like,
Right. I
so
think
That's
it's
what I was
great
going to
for
ask you, Stina, was like, your journey is really about self-love. So, I mean, you literally got rid of a huge corporate job, then got rid of a relationship, and then went to Costa Rica. And it sounds like you went by yourself
I
and
did.
just had you did, and you just had like some major self like reflection, and you came back and kicked ass in a pageant, and then you're like, but I don't need this anymore. When did what transformed? What happened? What was going through your mind and all that good stuff when you realized everything that was happening?
I think what I noticed was I was in line to go on stage right when you're like everyone's waving and I felt phenomenal, but deep down I was like Costa Rica is way more exciting than this. Everything I just came from doesn't even touch what
yeah,
I'm doing right now when my whole life has been this like fitting into your skinny dress, being blonde, being carefree, like everything I've waited for to come in pageant land is here. And I'm like, what? Whatever. Like, I'm just so nonchalant about it and almost like rolling my eyes, like, oh, we're just going on stage. God, twist my arm. Like, it was just a complete different mentality. And again, I really enjoyed it and I had such a nice day, but it just so much work and removal of old ways of being happened when I was in Costa Rica that the fulfillment I once got, I no longer got because I'm not the same person. Like I literally died there and became a new person. I don't even like the
Aw.
same scents. I don't even like the same type of people, same color, the way
Really?
of thinking. Nothing is the same.
What was going
Well,
on
yeah.
mentally with you at that time? I would
Well,
love
I'd
to know,
given
like,
up.
your mindset.
Like,
Yeah.
the reason I decided yes on Costa Rica was it was either that or check myself into a mental institution. Like, I was not in a
Mhm.
good place. I could
Yeah.
barely write a grocery list. I had text my cousin saying, "Oh my gosh, I think I really do need some help. I can't even
Mhm.
think right now." I, like, literally I can't even explain that when like you're in it and you're so depressed, but you're supposed to be really happy, you put on a show to be really
Yeah.
happy because you don't want to scare anybody.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know, you don't want to tell people that you're not feeling awesome because you've always felt awesome. And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, if I actually say I'm not doing well, I have fucking failed my life hardcore." Sorry, I don't know if you can swear on here.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
No, you can. We're fine.
As I dropped the F-bomb.
I'm like, "Oh, hello, no one."
No, this is our podcast. We're
Yeah, we're unapologetically, okay? We are
absolutely.
Yes, yes,
unapologetic all the time. We are
I
not
love
going
it.
to say sorry for any F-bombs.
Okay, good, I love that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it just really got to this point at home where I could not function and I had exhausted everything, like literally
Mhm.
everything. And the person I needed the most help from was my mom. And my mom was so sick, she could not see left or
Because
right.
you were taking care of her.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
like I just always had to be tough and I always had to be tough and I was like I can do this. I can do this and it was great and then once I hit a year of deflecting how hurtful it was to see someone dying in front of you that has no ability to take care of themselves or stand up for themselves or advocate for themselves when I've always done the opposite. It was like, how do you not? Okay, I need to really insert myself here. Like I need to insert myself 150% or my mother is going to die. And if I hadn't have done that, she would have. She's still here. She is kicking. She is awesome. She is doing really, really well, knock on wood. I mean, she is just getting over being sick, but we all are. but
Yeah.
but she was okay. Like I wasn't worried. And I think I just noticed a shift in me not being able to help myself anymore. And
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
when I knew that I needed help. And it was almost like God was sending me little like maybe try this. Maybe
Mhm.
try this. There was always ads about people quitting their corporate job, then living their dream life and
Yeah.
making
Mhm.
way more money and living on the beach or going here, there, wherever. And I had gone on a retreat to Costa Rica to try and like understand what's going on, get my ducks in a row. Am I quitting corporate? Like what's going on with my mom? Like it was a retreat to get away from the nonsense. So
Mhm.
as soon as my mom had surgery and started getting better, it was something that I promised myself. If a retreat is offered, I'm going to go because I need it. And actually, what ended up happening was after I put my 2 weeks in that corporate job, after mom is doing good, after I realize I'm not going to see this guy anymore, we're going to say no. We're going to get the balls to say
Mhm.
no. All these ads are happening. I'm still displeased. I'm having pizza and wine every night. Like there's just like it's a whirlwind of stuff. One night, really drunk on a couch right here that I'm sitting next to, I messaged the retreat center and I said, "I hate my life. Will you please help?" And I didn't
Oh.
remember doing
Oh,
that. That's how this
oh
Oh,
all started.
gosh.
And
wow.
they messaged me back not even 8 hours later, and they were like, "Stina, we will help you. You were so moving while you were here. Let's chat. Let's do what we need to do." Essentially, they offered me to become the CMO of their retreat center and live down there for an undisclosed amount of time, and that's what opened the door, but I didn't even end up doing that.
Yeah.
That didn't
Oh.
even happen because other opportunities
Mm.
happened and other things happened and some things fell through, and it really basically what happened in Costa Rica was everything I thought I couldn't do in my life that I never pursued here and only did quietly on the side was offered to me full time there, no questions asked, in a Spanish speaking
Wow.
community. And it was like,
Yeah.
you can do it there where you don't know anyone, you can't even speak the language fluently,
Yep.
and you don't think you're worthy enough to do it back home, you're dumb. So let's
Yep.
figure it out. And it was all it was like figuring out what's the problem? What are the blocks? Where is the issue? How come everything I do, I am so unfulfilled? I could be Miss America, win a race, make 8 million a year, and I'd still be like, you're a fucking loser. That's like
Oh,
just how I felt about myself. And it was like, but why? Like,
yep.
you're
So many women do that,
Exactly.
Stina,
ugh,
especially in like the deep, darkest times. It
yeah.
is like we beat ourselves up like a punching bag.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, something happened to you. There was a click. So
Mhm.
take us to that exact click.
Oh, I know exactly what it was. So, what ended up happening was I realized if I'm gonna be in Costa Rica for 3 months, 4 months, why not see what, like, programs are down there? Can I go to school? Can I teach English? Like, what else can I do? Because volunteering was only going to be, like, 4 to 6 hours a day. I think it was like 4 to 6 days a week. So with that ample free time, I didn't wanna just sit there. Like,
So
yeah, that
were you working there? Because you have to have an income too. Like, so
that was the plan, like a work trade, they call it. So
okay.
you stay, you get food, everything is paid for, and then
Okay.
you exchange your working services for it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So no income at this point. It was just a work trade, which is fine. You're
Hmm.
Yeah.
volunteering. I don't give a
Yep.
flying F. I didn't need money. I wanted to just get away. So, um, so I decided to see what else was opportunity, right? What can I do down there? There was another yoga studio, and that was something that I wanted. I said, if I'm going to be at this yoga retreat, can I get yoga certified while I'm there? I'm going to be there for however long. They didn't offer it, and I was like, "Oh man, like that's such a bummer." Let me like outsource it, see what I can do. I found a really nice studio right down the road. I interviewed with her a million times about where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I've done in my life. And she essentially offered me almost like a full scholarship. Like it was supposed to be a plenty of dinero. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't have that kind of money, but this is just what I'm looking for. The timing works out. And she was just so awesome and so flexible. And I really, I mean, she scholarshiped so much for me. And I said hard yes. So I was going down early and I was going to be a certified yoga instructor by the time I worked at the retreat center, which was perfect because then I could make money. So it was all making sense, right?
Wow.
So I get down there and the the really good thing about getting international yoga certified is that in the United States, as you know, like the practice is very athletic driven, right? It's very like sweat, blood, tears, like it's not soft and understanding, and essentially
Peaceful.
it's not how yoga is supposed to be
Mhm.
is what I've learned. and living in another country that specifies in yoga and traditional Chinese medicine and all of that, they all live the yogic life. They put you through weeks of personal development before they even teach you yoga things, because they want to make sure that you are healed and of sound human characteristics
Wow.
in order to teach across the world. Because if you're teaching in Australia, Iraq, Guam, the fucking North Pole, like how many different types of people are you coming in interaction with? How can you keep that consistent, and how can you keep that atmosphere safe is like something that I've always promoted in my business. And when she was promoting that to me, it made so much sense. So
Yep.
I know this is like a thorough way of getting there, but it needs an explanation. So I have multiple weeks of personal development before we even get into the yoga stuff. And she's really good at, she has years and years of like hypnosis and psychotherapies. Like she is like the real effing deal. And I have been trying to figure out my problem for years, like
Mhm.
journaling, trying to heal your inner child, like therapy, like everything you can imagine. I've been catering to self-love since I was like 18 and knew there was something up, but never knew what it was. And so she put me through some really deep delving. Now, I will say when I meditate, I'm like brought to another land. Like it
Wow.
is not normal. I am full into whatever is happening in my
You
brain.
can quiet your mind where not everybody can
Yeah.
do it
Oh
well.
yeah. It's like, it's crazy. And it's only gotten 10 times more amazing since this one day. But between the ages of 5 and 8, something is said to us that is within the cells of our body, which is why we think we're not worthy, beautiful, all of those things. Now, 9 out of 10 women, men even, have an issue with their life, right? There's something wrong somewhere. There's that one random person that might have the most beautiful life, the most beautiful family, and they are very lucky souls.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
hope they're
Yep.
making a lot of money
Right.
helping people be really awesome
Right.
too. But those who need the stuff, it it's getting to the bottom of what that statement was. Now, it might not even be a traumatic statement, right? Your body took it in as a traumatic statement because it was still growing and it's in your cellular building. And until you can reassess and like relive what happened and understand the situation, you will never heal and you will never be able to move on. And what happened
Mm.
to me was my 3rd day of kindergarten, maybe first time in school. I remember there was this one girl. She was so beautiful. Her name was Ashley Coggeshell, and she was stunning. Long red hair, green velvet dress with like plaid tulle under it. I'm talking like Richie Rich stuff. And
Mhm.
I was enamored by this girl because she had she had this most, she looked like a American Girl doll in
Aw.
real life.
Yep.
And when she did art, it was awesome. And she could sing and like just everything about her was like, wow, this chick is cool. And you're just being introduced to other kids,
Yeah.
and this is what I'm seeing. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. So I remember I had to go to I went to the bathroom, I came back, and as I'm coming back to the classroom, I'm looking at everyone's artwork, and it's like up on the wall like it is when you're showing it in school, right? So hers is up there and it's an elephant and it's like bedazzled and mosaic looking. And I'm like, this woman, what the hell? How does she
If you would have known the word bitch, you would have been like, what the hell? This
Right?
bitch.
right? And I was like, get out of town. So I'm looking at this art and I'm feeling like really cool things. I'm like, wow, this is like the first time I remember feeling a sensation. And it was really good. It was a nice, warm, heart-loving sensation. Now, I had a sparkly shirt on that mimicked the sparkles and glitter on the paper. So I look at that elephant, I'm feeling love and awesome. I see my shirt. Oh, sorry, this is hard to talk about.
Oh.
Um, if you don't cry when you relive your traumatic state,
Yeah.
you have a problem.
Yep. Yep.
So I look down at my shirt and I pull it out and it's a leopard, which is why I love leopards so much. I figured out. It's this like turquoise head and black and gemstones, and I have matching leggings. And that really awesome feeling I'm feeling towards the art, I'm looking at myself and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling self-love, right? And what happens as soon as my brain hears in itself, this is love. This is self-love. A kitten's is in line right next to me to go out to recess. And as soon as I am thinking self-love, he says, "Wow, you're really fat and ugly, huh?" So
Wow.
my body took self-love as being fat and ugly.
Wow.
That
Okay.
self-love to myself is being treated poorly, which is why I always took horrendous boyfriends. I always had negative things to say about myself, even as a 00 stunning and getting paid to model, still not good enough because in my body, loving myself meant hating myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know any of that. So
Wow.
the
And these are
instant
things that you learn. You learn this through the course in
course.
Costa Rica, the personal
Mhm.
development courses. They taught you this and showed you how to recognize it and brought it out from you, right?
Yep, and she said, "You are so you can never tell someone to go back to their first memory and know what it is instantly." And
Right.
I knew what it was because since I was 18, I've been trying to like understand what is going on. Why do I feel this way? So it came up really quickly for me. And as soon as I understood what happened, and it was like, "Oh, well, he was wrong. I wasn't fat and ugly." Nothing has been the same since then. No,
Wow.
there is not you could not tell me, like, I am capable of anything and everything. There is no question about anything. Like, my brain doesn't work the same. Like, it's just like anything, any blockage I've ever had is gone.
And what they taught you, I mean, is this something like, I mean, because you took a 6-week course.
Mhm.
So, and by the way, what are you drinking? We show us your little
It's
cute. I
just
know
it
you're almost done, but
I
what
have
is it?
sparkly, it's got glittery water in it, so there's
Oh,
sparkly tart ice
ooh,
cube,
yummy.
lemonade, and strawberry juice. Yeah,
I
that's
What's
it.
love
wait, what is this
so
glittery?
cute.
You said glittery and that got
I
me
know.
sparkle. What's glittery?
Yeah,
Your
so it's
cup.
edible glitter, you make ice cubes out of
Oh,
it.
you put the
I don't know if
Got
you see
cute.
up.
it. Yeah, look, it's glittery.
Oh
So
my
so
gosh, Stina.
Sabina, can anybody, I mean, I know you're doing multiple things. You have, you're in the business of helping people now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that what you're doing is helping others. But I'm just curious, can anybody learn this technique? Or I mean, what they taught you? I know it was a 6-week course, but can anyone learn this technique in a
Oh, yeah,
short?
this is what I offer. This is what made me start my own business.
Yes, but, is it a coaching program? Is it do you do the same 6-week steps? Like, or is it something that can just be like, can you say something right now to somebody to help them
Like a
get
tip.
up to where they can recognize it, I guess, or be
Like,
able to try to.
recognize what their traumatic statement is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you know what it is when it is presented to yourself? Like, I mean, do you
Well,
see
so
the
you
question
have
I'm trying
to
to ask?
when it comes to personal development and understanding what that is, it was a 6-week school program for me. That
Yeah.
personal development program, I mean, that happened on
It
day like
probably
8.
took
Yeah.
you stages to get there. This was
Oh,
That's
yeah.
work. This was like
This
yeah.
has been like
true.
20 years.
This
So
is
Yeah.
this is a process. This is a,
Yeah.
you know, 40 years of life and condensing into healing in 6 weeks. But you did the work in 6
Oh my
weeks.
God.
That's
Yeah, it's
hard
also been
work.
20 years of hating myself
Yeah.
and questioning myself and not understanding things. And at some point, you get so fed up, you want to understand because you're
Absolutely.
just exhausted. And
Yeah.
that's where I was at. So it was like, yeah, I'll go to another country. I'll literally cut my arm off if that's what I need to do to figure this out because I don't get it. But what I do with my clients and my personal development sessions are to assess this type of situation. However, the number one important thing is knowing that they have a therapist
Mhm.
Gotcha.
because not everyone, even therapists, don't know how to unlock this sort of stuff. And I
Mhm.
am so conversational. I pave such a safe space for everyone that is another reason why I got into this because I can easily resonate with people like of all types. Obviously, I mean, that's why I've been able to teach in Greece and London and Costa Rica and every state because I am easily approachable, but also I understand every situation ever because I don't judge. I want everyone to be me. Like, as far as how I feel, like everyone deserves this. And I want this for everyone. And I want to go through that journey with the people to get them there because it's hard and it's scary. And if you can't trust the person that you talk to, you're never going to get there. And a lot of times therapists, they are lovely and they are helpful, but initially can be terrifying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to say, I need therapy, 50% of people don't even want a therapist because they don't want people to know that they're going.
Mhm.
So if there was a way to offer something that is therapeutic, that is not therapy, which are these personal development sessions, that is where I cater my things to. So I do like light therapy sessions where if we start to really open things up, it's passed off to the therapist.
Mhm.
So I'm like the gateway
Like
therapist.
I mean, like trauma that you need additional support with
Right.
is what I'm
And she'll
hearing
be
you.
the segue to that. She'll be
Yep.
that bridge to the other. Yeah.
And some people don't want therapy, or maybe they just need a quick conversation with someone that they can know and trust
Mhm.
in their developmental areas. And that's what I'm all about. So I'm so glad that 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 has been able to take off because that's what I needed. I was one of the people that was like, I can't go to therapy. I'm supposed to be perfect. And then
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
do it. And then as soon
I
as I
think
said I needed it.
that's the big stigma of coaching, because coaching has become big over the last, like, I don't know. I mean, it's always been a thing, but
Mhm.
now everybody's like, I need a personal coach. I need a coach. I need a life coach. I need this kind of coach.
Right.
There's still that stigma of like, do I?
Right.
I'm fine. I don't
Right.
need it.
Right.
And therapy is even like, especially our generation, we're all like of the same
Right.
age.
Mhm.
And so
No, I'm much older. I will put it out there. No, that was very kind statement, Sierra, but I am fucking 55. I am much older than you two bitches. And
a little bit
Silence.
older than us.
Incorrect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just a little tiny weenie,
Yes.
okay? So
Yes.
anyways, back
But
to
I
my
love you
point.
for
You
putting
over
me in
there.
that same bucket. That was fantastic.
It's just there's just you hear people whenever they're getting divorced. I don't believe in therapy. I don't believe in seeing it's not gonna help anyways. Well, it's not gonna help because you're not open to it, right?
Right. Exactly. They're the ones who need it the
So
most. Sorry.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
But like you were stuck. You were at a point where like shit, I need help.
Yeah.
Right? What advice would you give to somebody who, because we all know people who are stuck. We see it on
Right.
social media, we know, right?
Yeah.
and oftentimes, and Sierra and I were talking about this on an earlier episode today, is that a lot of people don't realize they're stuck, and they don't, they like live in that stuckness and that
They make
shit for
everybody
too long.
miserable.
Right. And so, like, how do they, what's the first step for them to, besides recognizing it? But once they recognize it, what do you suggest that they do? Like,
One of the first questions that I ask someone who's like, well, I don't get what you do. Why? I don't need you. Like, how do I know if I need you? And it's like, do you love yourself? And if they're like are thrown, they need it.
mhm.
Because it's
Yeah,
either a high hell yes or a ugh, why are you even asking that? Or there's some attitude that comes, well, that's a no. That's a
yeah,
no. Like that is, I think that right there is a telltale sign of someone who needs it.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
say someone is in like chaos and you know that they need help and they can't see it themselves. That sounds like intervention-ish, right?
Mhm.
Like it depends on how severe it is and like are they hurting themselves? Are they hurting others? Like what how involved
yeah,
is it?
Yeah.
If it's just like mannerisms and how they act and it's annoying, I mean, it's important to have a relationship where you can talk to them openly. If this is a person that is not directly affecting your life, do you need them in your life if they're negatively affecting you? Like it's
yeah.
also your responsibility to understand how they're negatively impacting you and
We
implement
were
boundaries in reference.
Yes.
we were talking about self-love is understanding your boundaries,
Mhm.
and having enough respect and love for yourself is also the boundary of not putting yourself around people that will not allow you to fully love yourself. And that's
Mhm.
really, really difficult, especially if it's like a family member or something.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that you intentionally want to do it, but for your own self-love and good, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, as everyone does, I have amazing parents. I am so obsessed with them. It's gross.
No.
But we also there's always problems too. Like life isn't a rose-colored glass all the time.
Right.
And there can be times where and this can be with it can be with anyone, not even parents, where you feel different when you leave the house sometime and you're like, wow, like I'm usually so happy and now I'm feeling a little off. Like what happened in there? And it's
Mhm.
important for you to understand and know your boundaries so you know already what happened. Like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't know, they offered me food when they know I'm dieting. Like WTF, something stupid like that. Like, or if it's really intense and severe where like you're losing sleep over it, again, it's important to have those conversations. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you can't have those conversations, it's up to you to understand why, but it's also up to you to advocate for yourself and your
Mhm.
self-love. You know,
Yeah.
boundaries can be harsh
Mm.
regulations, but they can also be soft conversations, you know?
Mhm.
That's for sure. That's for
Mhm.
sure. I can
Yeah.
definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
And now, like, you're such a positive person and you've gone through so much work and your businesses are flourishing. And I know that you and I have had, private conversations and like
Mhm.
how the universe is like providing.
Oh, it's wild.
But I would assume, like most entrepreneurs, there's a journey. Like
Mhm.
it's not, it maybe for you it's different, but I would think like it's not always here. There's some shit that happens, right? But is there like a big lesson that you've learned? Things that you wish you knew before that you know now? Some of the pitfalls? Where are you with that?
Honestly, if it's not meant to work out, it's not gonna work out, and if you are, like, gung ho for something and it doesn't work out, it's not supposed to. Take that
Yeah.
pressure off yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
How do you
It's
know
not
when?
that you're
How do you know
less. It's
when?
not that you're less or that you weren't good enough. And I think that's the stigma that we
Yeah.
get is like when things don't work out, we blame it on ourselves or we blame it on
Right.
others, which is definitely not good. But you start to like have those doubts and you
Yep.
you accuse yourself of being the reason when sometimes another door was supposed to open, right?
But how do
And
you
you
know?
help people. Yes.
Right? It's how do you know when it's the door that you're supposed to slam shut?
You just keep going because
Right.
there's so many people that give up before
Yeah.
before they were so close to getting there.
Like right
Or
there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mhm.
Right. So how do you know? Is there
How do
something
you
that
help
you,
them?
how
Yeah.
do you navigate that in your life going, when do I walk away from something versus continue on this path because you feel that it's the right way to go?
Well, for me personally,
Yeah.
I'll know in my heart right away,
Yeah.
instantly, how I want something to work out. And if it doesn't work out like I'm expecting it or I have to really like take a step back and say, okay, God, then if it's not supposed to work out, why am I so excited?
Yeah.
What is it? And it's
Mhm.
like that we I know this sounds like very spiritual, but like we're not in control. We
Ugh.
are just human beings that are trying to fulfill a soul's reason to be here.
Mhm.
And the physical human being body is meant to prevent us from listening to our heart.
Yeah.
And those things that come up that we're challenging, or but I really want this, or but this, or but that, or how come this, what if that, what if that, that's all the human
Yeah.
being vessel challenging what the heart wants, because the heart already knows. It's the
Mhm.
human who challenges it, and that's where difficulties in life come from. And I think when you don't know if you're supposed to close a door or
Yeah.
keep it cracked, you in your heart know the answer.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to because your heart may want it, but you could be confused that it's your mind that thinks you have to have it in
Right,
order for your heart to be happy. And it
right.
can be very, very confusing if people are not healthy.
Yes.
And I do not
Yeah.
want anybody to sit on this call and listen and think, I'm supposed to stay in this marriage. I'm supposed to keep going. I feel it in my heart, but you're being beat, you're being verbally abused, or
Yep.
you're being really serious things are happening in your life that is not giving you a reason, and your heart thinks it wants it, but your mind knows I need to run. So
Mhm.
there's that fine line where I think that as a human, as you said, like that soul, sometimes it can be confusing when you're not healthy.
Well, and then we see that a lot with women that are like working and you have a job or career
Yeah.
that you're questioning whether or not that is the path that you're supposed to be on, but it pays the bills. So it's
Or
like,
you're presented with an opportunity, Renee. This is where I
yeah,
see it a lot, where women are presented with an opportunity to get themselves in a better situation or be gifted
yeah,
with something. And that mind and that heart, my heart knows I should do it. My mind doesn't, but I don't know if I'm healthy enough to recognize to say yes.
yeah,
It's a scary thing sometimes. And I think that Stina, more people need people like you in their lives
yeah.
to help them differentiate and understand what is happening between
And
because
I feel like your body will tell you
Mhm.
no before your head does.
Mm.
Like, are you nauseous? Are you shaking? Are you sweating? Is your mind running? Like, what's happening physically that we
Mm.
are probably not even paying attention to? Those are your signs.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and an
again, like,
unhealthy person
right.
thinks that high, that they call that there's certain kind of like relationships, and you can have these in work and you can have it. It's that high
Mhm.
that you get when it's like this because of your trauma, that feels good to
Right.
some people. They need that chaos. So
Right.
they don't know that straight line
Smooth.
healthy,
Right.
Right.
not at all.
Yeah.
And you know what I've always said too, like not everyone wants to be healed too. Like
It's true.
some people
It's
want
so
to be on
true.
that high all the
So
time, which is
true.
exhausting.
Yes, we talked
Yes.
about that earlier too. We're like, because
Yeah.
we coach, right? And
Right.
I shared this with so I can share this because my family doesn't listen to my damn podcast. So, we'll just put that out there. I mean, it's,
Mine does. We're so opposite.
talk about support, but that's a whole other episode. That's the therapy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was trying to, because I'm a coach, I like to coach people. And I was trying to coach my family who doesn't want my coaching. Like I was coaching, and then I had to take a step back, and I said to them, I'm like, I'm sorry, I have my coaching hat on. That's ingrained in me, but I clearly see not everybody wants my coaching. I go into that mode of, I'm going to coach you to the success because I can help you get there.
Right.
Not everybody wants it.
Right.
And that's that's also then a hard thing as a coach. Then you have to release it going, okay,
Right.
like
I know,
can't
and
hurt
I think
you.
coaching your adult kids, because you're always asking that permission. May I ask you? What do you think, or how would that? And they're like, oh, here she goes again.
I feel like when I talk about, like, both of you know, but I think I coached Courtney so much away from me. I
Oh.
coached her out because,
No, because coaching is asking permission, Renee. And
I know.
she
I
either
know. That's a
accepting it.
whole other thing, but I feel like I always like coach and like, but that's a whole other thing, but it is a fact
But
that
see,
not
that's the
everybody wants to be
thing,
coached.
Renee. That's what I was trying to say about having somebody like Stina, because, and I'm not saying that she's like this, but if you're not in a healthy, or you say you want to receive it, but you really don't want to
Don't.
receive
Right.
it, if
Right.
you're unhealthy, like, and
Yeah.
you know that you're unhealthy and making the decisions that maybe aren't right for you, it could cause, like, you just go into this chaos state, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah.
And, and it's not that you coached her away. It's your own demons, right? It's your own chaos, your own trauma that you're just trying to fight and battle, is what
Yeah.
I have witnessed people do. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a self-sabotage thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, Stina, they have to want to get healthy. They have to want help. But if they don't, but there's somebody in their life who's really advocating for it, for them to get healthy and thing, it could cause them to be a little bit more, I guess, I don't know. I mean, to take a different
Yep.
Right.
place.
From being a lot of the reasons that my businesses are what they are too is because what I saw at home as a young girl, it like at a very young age, I had to understand, like, I have to take some control on some things on my own. And I noticed that the older I got, even more recently, when I was taking care of my mom, actually, like, literally my whole life, it was always like, why can't she just be like this? Why
Yeah.
can't she just do
Oh.
this? Why this? What, like, her life would be so much easier if she just did this. And it's like, Mom, if you just did this, you wouldn't have all these doctor's problems. Moms, if you just did this, like, and it was always say that. And I would always get so frustrated and pissed and like forever. And then I realized I am asking my mom to be something she isn't. And I am pissed that she is who she is. And now I'm not even loving my mom. I'm just pissed at my mom. And now she's going to fucking die. And I decided that I don't like my mom because she doesn't run fucking marathons. Are you stupid? Like, like, it's
Yeah.
like all of this happens in your brain that you have this information to offer someone that you love so much, you want to shake them until they're blue to listen, but maybe they're just not there to listen about that. They're
Yeah,
there to listen about
exactly.
other things.
Yep.
Maybe for whatever reason you can't get through to your daughter now and it is the way that it is, but who's to say in 5 years there's not some drastic
Yeah.
change and conversation just happens.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
all are
You
so
never know. You never know.
we're all so adamant to get across the knowledge that we have when we see someone who needs it. But
Yeah.
as far as self-love goes, it's also our responsibility to know when to back off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's hard.
Amen.
That's hard.
That's hard.
Way to like just put it all in perspective.
Yeah.
Place, Stina. You are incredible. You're an incredible
Isn't
human
she?
being. I just adore you. And
I love
meant,
her like eat, pray, love. Like I just
Yeah.
literally that's what she reminds me of is she went on
Yeah.
this eat, pray, love journey.
Someone said
And
that the other day. They were like, "You did it, but you did it like way cooler,
way cooler.
and dudes weren't even involved." I was like, "No, but chicks might have been involved, and that's for another time."
Aw, I love it.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's gosh,
Aw.
this has been quite the lovely chat. It's so nice to be with brains who like understand things in the same
Yeah.
manner. And even
Yeah.
like dealing with other coaches, having not done this in the professional manner that I am doing it now, right? It's always been a side endeavor, and I've been studying nutrition and fitness since I was probably 10. That's when I started reading about it. And like I could tell Arnold Schwarzenegger a thing or two is what I'm saying.
I love it.
So I've been really quiet about what I offer because I want to release it when the time is right.
Yeah.
We're just about getting there. These podcasts are really helping. There's a lot of fun things happening over the next 6 months or so. But I very much appreciate your support, and everything that you say just helps me to go and help the next heart that needs some love so they can heal, and then help heal the hearts around them. And then we can be a more beautiful world.
Yeah.
We're all struggling.
Oh, I
We are.
love you. And that's the thing is what I love
Oh,
about
go
this
ahead, Renee.
podcast is having women on because even the purpose is to help all of you, anyone that's a guest on here, to help share your journey so that will inspire others. But really, sometimes I feel so selfish because having these guests on that just fills my soul and fills my heart is just it does so much good for me that I do sometimes feel like, oh my gosh, I can't say I feel guilty because we're sharing it with everyone. But I so appreciate you. Tell me what is next for you. Like, do you want to share anything that's next? Anything that you have that you want to like?
Yes. I'm writing a book about Costa Rica. I'm halfway.
I knew it.
Oh,
I knew it. I was like,
there might be some TV stuff involved too. So
Oh,
it's only just begun.
okay,
Yeah.
Stina, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna be that person in the background. It's like, I mean, they can't see, but I'll be like the one in the background, like, hi.
I love it. It's so exciting. And Stina, where can people follow you and connect with you? I mean, on what's your name on Instagram?
Yeah,
Facebook,
so Instagram
TikTok,
is the best. My website is getting refinished, so that won't be up until probably summertime. My Instagram is at I am Stinalicious. So at IamStinALICIOUS.
I love it. I have thought about and was like, Stina needs to do a book. Stina needs to write a book. I am so fucking excited for you. I can't even wait. Oh my God.
No one really knows. I've only told a few, but man, every time I talk to people, they're like, what do you do? I'm like literally talking to them for 30 minutes, their jaws on the floor, and they become a client. And they're like, you have to write a book. Like, I'm not kidding. I tallied it. Once I hit 1,500 people telling me I need to write a book, I was like, I have to do it.
You have to.
Yeah. I'm there. I'm halfway through. I've been reliving everything. It will be the most exotic, fun page turner ever. Like guaranteed to be on the New York Times bestseller.
I am so happy for you, my friend. Yeah. I am thrilled for you. I love supporting. I love following you. And Sierra, Stina and I live kind of close to each other when she's in town.
I know, you little pageant Queens.
Yeah, so we're already scheduling our dinner for
I think
April.
I need to just fly to Rhode Island. I mean,
I
I'm
think
getting the courage. Like, screw it. I'm just gonna go.
Right?
Where are you
Right?
at, Sierra?
I'm in Texas,
Texas.
Wait, where in Texas?
in Houston.
Wait, that's where I'm flying on Monday.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm going to be in Houston from the 4th until the 12th.
Girl, message me and let's try.
Yes,
Renee.
yes.
Let's try to go have a drink together before you have a drink.
Yes. Oh my God, please. I don't think I have your number, but message me.
I'll connect. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
She'll
will.
connect with you. Oh, my God.
will.
Okay. And now here's me like, oh, I get Stina in April. And you're like, bitch, girl, I'm in Houston and I'm going to get it next week.
Oh,
So,
that would be amazing though, Stina. I would
that would
love
be awesome.
Yeah, my best friends
Definitely.
just moved there from Connecticut, and then we have a national conference for one of my clients there too.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Excited.
I love sharing your story. You're an amazing human. I love you with every fiber of my being.
Same.
And
I feel the same.
yes.
And
And
thank you for being on our show. We cannot
Yeah.
thank you enough for just sharing and empowering and
Yes.
loving yourself and loving everybody. So, girl, continue to stay unapologetically badass, please.
Hell yeah.
hell yes. I love it. Everyone, thank you so much for listening and stay tuned for more Unapologetically Badass. See you on the next one. All right, queens, that's a wrap for today's episode. But before you hit pause, let's talk about you and how we can help you slay every part of your life. If you're ready to feel fabulous and look like $1,000,000, I've got you covered with my badass queen coaching, sparkling touchstone crystal jewelry, and Bella Grace collagen, because glowing skin and a sparkly vibe, that's a power move. Check it all out at ReneeCarbonefleming.com. And my co-host Sierra, oh yeah, she's bringing the heat too. Not only is she rocking Bella Grace collagen for her glow game, but she's also the queen of chic with her fabulous clothing boutique. From boosting your wellness to leveling up your wardrobe, Sierra's got the magic to help you shine inside and out. Check her out at Linktree/Sierra Whitener 7. So here's the deal. Head to our websites, grab the goods that'll help you live your best life, and let's make everything about you unapologetically badass. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your fellow queens, because the more sparkle in the world, the better. Until next time, keep glowing, keep slaying, and remember, you're a badass queen who deserves it all.